So good morning and welcome, friends. Hopefully hopefully you have as many reasons to be grateful as everyone that I'm reading in the comments here. Um, Grateful for sunshine, grateful to wake up, grateful for the opportunity to work for myself while being supported. Um, so cool. Um, Somebody said they're grateful for on-guard drops. Oh man, our kids are getting beat up right now. They're bringing home every bug from school. Karina says, I'm grateful for my doTERRA paycheck. How many of you think that it's just the coolest thing ever that we can do something so meaningful and so powerful in sharing these precious gifts of the earth, and then we get compensated for it? Like, might be a small check, might be a big check, might be somewhere in the middle, but we have such an amazing blessing to have, uh, yeah, this business attached to a cause and a mission. So it's pretty great. And I'm super grateful for the same thing. I'm also grateful to have Natalie back. She went to Brazil last week and she did an Essential Emotions event, which was amazing. It was sold out, um, over 1,200 attendees. And uh, Joe Tholstrom was there, Amanda Porter was there, and it was really, really just high vibe. The people were so receptive. They just took in every last thing. And yeah, Natalie was super grateful to be there, grateful to connect with our team and those lovely people, and then grateful to get home. So doTERRA is awesome. I don't have any big announcements, but I do want to give a little teaser. Um, Gosh, it's hard because I can't really say anything. Sarah Marie Smith called me last week and asked me to get on a call with Laura Jacobs, Seth Risenmay, a bunch of really, really top leaders. And she gave us a sneak peek of some of the things that are coming down the pipeline. And I just want you to think, okay, what are the things that get in the way? What are the barriers that prevent people from just focusing on the right things and building the business? What she showed us is going to do wonders to help remove those barriers. So I am super grateful for Sarah Marie, for corporate, for a company that just keeps looking out for us in the field, and they just keep making things better. Probably you maybe have heard about Modere closing their doors last week. Super, super sad. Many of you know that Eric Larson, one of our master distributors, he was the CEO of Modere back when it had a different name. It was operating under New Ways back then. So sad. I can't even imagine what that's like to wake up one day and to learn that your company has closed their doors. Everything you built is gone. But I just have so much compassion for all of them. And I'm so grateful for doTERRA, who just keeps laying a strong foundational um, financial base, a strong base of people and products. And yeah, we have so much to be grateful for. So thank you, Sarah Marie, for everything you do. And I'm excited. Probably by convention, they'll be able to um, make some announcements around that. I think they still have some tweaking to do. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and open it up for your questions and whatever you want to talk through, whether it's money blocks, goal setting, um, action, inspiration. What is it you'd like to talk about today? Go ahead and raise your hand and we can bring you on live. All right, we got a chatty group today. I'll just keep reading some of the great gratitude posts. Jeff says, I'm grateful for my life, my family, and our doTERRA family. Amen to that. What else? Somebody turn on an AI assistant to help take notes. That's cool. I haven't played with that, so if anybody has found a great translation tool, something that translates in real time, I would love to hear what you found. This is probably a mostly US call based on who I'm seeing in the chat. But love to hear if anybody knows. All right, Karina says, let's talk about onboarding and what that can look like. Karina, I'd love to hear if you've been on the last two calls that Lindsay Norman has been on, because she's led us in those exact conversations. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'd love to hear what holes are missing from what she shared. And then it looks like Lee is raising their hand. All right, Lee. Good morning.
So I am an elite. I have 54 people, I think, under me, and my direct upline does not do the business at all. She's a customer, but she doesn't do the business. And her direct upline, who used to sort of mentor me a few years ago, went to a different group with doTERRA. So I'm just curious if you have any suggestions of ways for me to find help out there. I mean, I know how to, I have parties sometimes and I enroll people, but I would really like a mentor or something like that.
Awesome. Well, first of all, congratulations on Elite and having over 50 team members. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So tell me more specifically what it is you're looking for. You mentioned mentoring. What are you, tell me more about what you would want in an experience.
Um, just community within doTERRA, really. I mean, when I work the business, which is, sporadic, I'll admit, but I would like to be more consistent, but I also sometimes just feel like I'm alone out there. I mean, this call is amazing. And when I, years ago, I was on it all the time. Now I've, been more sporadic and had a few years when I was not able to join this call. But other than that, I don't know, just like to meet up with more all the doTERRA people that I know are usually they're under me or they're, it's my upline who she's enthusiastic, but she doesn't do the business.
Yeah. So it
So
sounds like what you're looking for is not only community, but community who's running and building doTERRA also. Like, not
yes,
you don't just want social, but you want like you want a tribe that's doing
yes,
doing the
I
thing.
love a
Yeah.
tribe.
Yeah. Okay. So were you able to tune in to I think it was gosh, was it last week that Lindsay? Yeah. So last week Lindsay came on and we talked about this topic. Did you have a chance to listen to that?
Oh no, I didn't. But there's a
Okay.
recording. I can go back and listen.
Yes. Yep. So
Okay.
go to YouTube and
Okay.
I think it's youtube.com/ at share success. Um, and so we talked about this very topic, and she said, I highly recommend that you go find kind of a workout partner in doTERRA. And she says what she's found has worked best is Crossline. And so It's always great if you've got someone upline or downline who's running with you. But honestly, Natalie and I have seen the same thing. We've actually seen greater success when people are sidelined. And it doesn't matter if they're, side under the same, like siblings or cousins. They could be like 16th cousins 3 times removed. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it really doesn't matter if you're connected in any way. What one thing Lindsay said on the call was it is helpful if you both have goals, right? If you're both moving towards a goal. And she says it's nice if you're, like within a rank or two of each other,
Mhm.
just so there's not like a huge delta. So um, so I can see in the comments that some other people can feel you, that they would like the same thing. And somebody else is asking, well, how do you find people to do cross-line with you? This is a great place to do that. So if anyone on this call is looking for someone to run with, to be a workout partner, go ahead and put in the chat. That's me, or me, I'm looking for someone. Because what we found is there's magic that happens when when people create a meaningful bond and create an accountability that wasn't there before. A lot of us, um, sometimes we do the return report to our upline, but I found that can get sometimes it gets muddied because the upline might need you for a rank or they might not need you for a rank, and so there gets to be this kind of like weird energy.
Mhm.
And so what we found is when people are cross-line, they don't have any, there's none of that energy. It's totally clean in the sense that you're only there to support each other. And so it creates this amazing, like, I'm here for you, you're here for me. And that's it. Like we don't build each other's check. And it's just like it's purely altruistic, in the sense that, you know, y your check doesn't directly grow or grow their check. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So so yeah, I can already see people putting in the chat. I'm looking for someone to run with. I think it's good to have like a pair of two people because that creates ultimate accountability. If some of you decide, hey, why don't we create a group and we'll run together? That's good, but I found it's not great. It's easy to hide when there's 3, 4, 5 people in a group. And so if it's paired, here's one of the things that Elise Shedevy recommends. She says she calls it 10 at 10. And so she says every morning you text your accountability partner what you're going to accomplish that day. And then by 10 p.m., you've texted them what you got done that day. And you can set up how many working days you have. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 5. Anyone who's all in with the business, it's going to be at least 5 days out of the week that they're doing this. But focus on the things that move the needle. Focus on in the pipes, the IPE, right? How many people did I invite? How many presentations did I do? And how many people did I enroll? It's nice if you organize your oil cabinet. It's nice if you did some mentoring calls, but ultimately the IPE is what's going to move the needle in building your business. And I love everything that Lindsay shared about those 4 quadrants. What's my customer acquisition strategy? What's my customer retention strategy? And then what's my builder acquisition and builder retention strategy? So those would be good things. After the IPE, those would be good things to collaborate with your workout partner on, just to get on the same page and to hold each other accountable. Now, if you want to hear next level accountability, I want to share what I did a few years back. Actually, it's been probably 17 years now. I wanted to create an online course, and many of you know how that goes. It's one of those things you just kind of put a little into, and then it gets put off and put off and put off. So I found an accountability partner, and I said, I want to get this done. And I know it's not going to get done. And so I need you to sign in to all of my social media accounts and change my password. And so they did that. And then I said, if I don't hit these benchmarks, then you can post whatever you want. So you can post, like I pooped my pants today or whatever. Like, and so that made it really real for me, like holding myself accountable to my goals. Now that's next level. Not everybody, that's probably not everybody's commitment level, but that's where I was with this project. So just some ideas there. If you want to, there's, that was a stick. There's also carrots. So if you want to say, hey, we're gonna hold a party or we're gonna, treat ourselves to whatever. If I hit this goal, then that's great too. So just some ideas there, but go back and watch Lindsay's last call because she does a fantastic job speaking to that topic. And hopefully you're reading the chat because there's a lot of people who are in your camp who are looking for partners. So
Okay. I'm not, but I'll try to read it once I'm off. And I did put my email and phone number in there. So if anybody wants to contact me, that would be great. Just text me if you're going to call me, text me first so I know.
I know, right? These days I decline every call unless it's someone in my contacts.
Yes. Thank you, Andy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, Lee, and we'll be cheering for you.
Thanks.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, I had another question come through. So if somebody else has another question, they feel free to raise your hand and we can bring you on live. Okay. I saw somebody ask, how was the last experience doTERRA? Michelle, she says, how was the last experience doTERRA? And when is the next one? Okay, great question. So anytime, anywhere, you can go to experiencedoterra.com and it'll take you to the page that shows our schedule of events. So we have been faithfully holding our Experience doTERRAs every month. The next one is April 25 through 26, which is next week. And you'll see they're pretty much every week, every month. We skip for September because of convention. And I can't remember, it seems like people don't come on in December, so we don't do it then either. But yeah, here's the schedule. The last one was off the hook. Lindsay actually did a really big push with her team where not only did she come, but she made sure all of her qualifying leaders were there, all of her top leaders, really, not just qualifying. And so they presented, her sister shared her story about her husband's cancer and how doTERRA has carried them through that whole journey. And I got to tell you, there was not a dry eye in the room. It was so moving. So thank you, Megan. I don't know if you're on, but that was one of the highlights for me. But yeah, she had multiple leaders sharing. It was so good. So good. Seth Resume, he shared a new class that we've been working on together. And it was, oh my gosh, I have no words. It was so good. I'm so excited to make that class available to everyone. We're hoping by next month that should be ready to offer. So that is a small report on Experience doTERRA. Okay, Karina clarifies her question about onboarding. She's trying to use UpLevel 21 for that. Just depends on what people want and need. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Lindsay, she doesn't use UpLevel 21. She uses her own schedule of classes and ongoing, continuing education, and that works fantastic for her. So definitely tailor it to your people's needs. Yeah, but I think what you're asking is customers. I think UpLevel 21 is a fantastic way to onboard customers because it just helps, now that they have the product, it helps them get in the habit, right? We all know that it's nice to have something, but if it doesn't get open, if it doesn't get used, then what was the point? Why did we go to all the effort to educate them, empower them if they don't actually use it? So good. Okay. Jennifer says following the business building guide is great. Yeah, that's what we use for onboarding. So basically experience doTERRA. We have people come to that, and then that trains them on inviting, and which is the first skill they really need. And then once they've invited a few times and had some events, then they start presenting and they just follow the BBG. It's really duplicatable. Okay. Love it. I'm seeing lots of people looking for someone to hold themselves accountable. Okay, Joan says, do we know if the tariffs that are happening will affect any doTERRA products? So I know that essential oils were in that exception category. So I know that the oils are safe. I haven't heard about any of the others yet. I think that maybe, well, no, I think TerraZyme had some issues with supply chain before the tariffs. So I don't think it's going to hit in a big way. Here's one thing I do know. Part of the reason companies like Modere went under is the natural temptation for all companies is to build this massive catalog of products, and it's almost impossible to, like, every new product comes with it a certain amount of research and development, a certain amount of support. It's hard to make good quality clean products and keep your ingredient deck clean. But then there's also just a certain cost with managing that many SKUs. And so doTERRA is taking a look at, do we really need every single one of our SKUs? Many of you heard that shampoo and conditioner, the bars, they didn't have the clean ingredient deck that they wanted. And so with our commitment to quality, we're canceling those until we can get that cleaned up. So just when that happens, not if, but when that happens, I just want everyone to know doTERRA is laying our financial foundation to be a forever company. So it's super fun to have like a bajillion different lotions and different blends. But the fact is, we grew to be $1 billion company with very few SKUs. And so it's nice, but it's not necessary. So I just want everyone to know that doTERRA is super committed. They're way more committed to being a forever company than they are to keeping every single product. So I'm not making like some kind of doomsday, they're going to kill a fourth of the products. No, I'm just saying, things like the shampoo and conditioner bars, that happens when doTERRA says, hey, maybe the sales aren't there. Maybe the ingredient deck isn't there. And so we as a field get to be flexible and not hitch all of our belief and all of our our hopes on one low selling product. So hopefully that makes sense. I know, Jeff, I was heartbroken when they made the announcement about the shampoo and conditioner bars, because I, for one, love them so much. So it's hard, and that's part of the supply chain these days. It's so tricky. Tariffs do not make it any easier with supply chain. So, okay, I'm seeing lots of great comments. Yeah, Jackie, I agree with you. Sometimes less really is more. So true. Yeah, same thing with phytoestrogen. I don't know. I mean, phytoestrogen, any of the supplements, they're probably going to be sourcing ingredients from 5-10 different countries. And so all it takes is one supply chain issue or one tariff issue, and boom, that product gets shut down. So we get to be flexible, right? Like we gotta be willing to roll. Yes, no plastic to recycle, no pumps to toss out, and they work. Amen to that, right? I love that about the bars. Jennifer's asking where these announcements are housed. I just follow the business, doTERRA business, on social media. And that's where I get a lot of the announcements. Um, does anybody know of another spot? I mean, emails. They often send out emails with those kind of things. So just make sure that you're subscribed. In your back office, you can choose whether you're subscribed or not. And if you are a wellness advocate, you will get more notifications than if you're just a customer. So if you want to get more, stay more in tune with those things, then upgrade your account. Okay. All right. All right. So Mara, you've got a long comment here. Do you mind coming on and sharing what you're doing? I always love hearing live from people. Shoot, now I don't see you in the attendees list. Maybe she dropped off. Okay, I'll read. Oh, Mila, that was Mila. My bad. I misread the name. Okay, so Mila, if you want to come on and share what you're doing, we'd love to hear. So just go ahead and accept to join as a panelist. But if not, that's fine. We can read your comment.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Andy.
Hi, welcome.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Can you hear us? Shoot. I don't know if we have a bad connection. Mila, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry, everything froze. So yeah, just real quick. I started doing these like spa experience classes. I mean, not even classes, but more of a spa experience. Less educational, more experiential, to like, pamper and say thank you to my existing customers, but also to attract the new ones. And I just heard this idea from a lecture that I was listening this morning by some people that live in Russia, like what they're doing for their similar experiences, the builders. So basically they do announce it. Let's say there is a nominal charge of maybe $15-$20 per experience. And then at the end of the class, they announce that, if you enroll tonight with a 100 PV kit, then we absorb that price. Or, or in the future, if you join our community, we will offer a discount for our upcoming, because this experience is becoming very popular, a lot more popular than traditional introduction to oils or wellness class. And there is a high demand, but I only have a limited space of maybe 9-10 people. And I'm looking to do this consistently, maybe on a bi-weekly basis. So I don't know if you maybe have any suggestions. I want it to be more of a like thank you for existing clients and like attracting new customers, but also I don't want it to be like, hey, I'm trying to sell this event. I don't want it to be salesy. I want it more to be like, this is a thank you. This is for mamas who are tired with the family, the kids, just to get away, get pampered. But then if you do join our community, these classes will be at blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know if it makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I love what you're doing. And we have lots of team members who have built similar models where it's all about the experience, come get pampered, come have a me night, right? And they've had great success. So here's what we've learned so far. Most of the groups that have offered it for free, they've found that to make it sustainable, they needed to, one, maybe offer some of the DIY projects just at a cost. So like, let's say they're making a heat pack, those like socks with rice or beans in them. They might just charge their cost for those. And then let's say that they're making scented Epsom salts. Same thing. It's just a per item basis that they would charge for that. Otherwise, people were creating these really cool experiences and going upside down Because let's say you have 10 people come and I don't know, 4 people enroll, all the time and effort and all the cost of materials, it was easy to go upside down. So what we found is the spa model has worked really well if it's free, as long as you position it as a spa class, like a spa class. So it's a spa night with education. So if people come expecting just to get pampered and that's it, then the enrollments have been really low. But if they know that there's going to be education, then they've had really good enrollment rates. So I guess those are my 2 main tips. If you are looking at the free model, just make sure that the marketing matches the experience. You could, I guess what you could do is you could charge $30 and then you could put an asterisk that says, talk to your host about how to get your $30 back. Do you know what I mean? So that, because there are going to be certain people who they just want to spend the $30 and not think about it. But then there's others who are like, hey, I would come if I knew I could get that $30 back. So the nice thing about $30 is if they put it in, they're going to show up. You know what I mean? So many times people commit to doing things, but if it's free, they don't show up. So I do love, I love what you're saying about not making it too salesy. If people are expecting nothing but a spa experience, it's going to feel weird if you spend 45 minutes teaching a class and ask them to enroll. And so you just have to be really clear in your messaging and how you close. So like if you're, let's say you did do the asterisk, talk to your host about how to get the $30 back, then during the experience, you might be like, okay, for those who wanted to, have this experience for free, come to this 20-minute thing over here and learn how. So then it's not forced, it's optional. Do you know what I mean? So those are a couple of my ideas, and I'd love to hear other people. Sorry,
I
go ahead.
love it, Andy. That's amazing. That with a little asterisk, like, yeah. So this way, there is no pressure to learn,
Yeah.
and like you said, those who don't want to do anything, they're like, hey, I just spent $30. I don't want it back. I'm okay. I'm thankful for the experience. But there's somebody who's going to be interested. Yes, and our experience would be a little bit less educational, not a traditional spa class.
Mhm.
And as specifically mentioned in the flyer, that it's all about like, hey, you're gonna get this. There is a head massage or neck pillow and then foot soak, blah, blah, blah. And then in between, obviously, I'm going to be, before we do the gua sha, for example, I will tell them, what is the benefit of this specific yarrow palm that we put on the face. So it's going to be, of course, a little bit educational, but not like where they're going to make notes and learn things and feel like, like they're in the class. So it's going to be very subtle. That's what I'm aiming for. But thank you. Your insights are very valuable. Thank you so much, Andy.
Awesome. We'll be cheering for you. Good luck with those.
Thank you.
Okay, see you. Awesome. Yeah. I know that part of Amy Fulmer's team did a lot of spa nights, as they called them. And yeah, it was fun to watch them run with that. Because a lot of times, a busy mom might not be able to get away for education, but they, at some point they're like, hey, I get to have a night for myself, and I'm claiming a self-care night. And so that's a great way to get butts in seats. Okay, I saw another hand raised. I don't know. I can't remember who that was. So whoever that was, if you still have your question, go ahead and raise your hand again. And then meanwhile, Stephanie has a question there about someone who had their thyroid removed and wants some tips. If anybody has advice there, that would be great. Okay, and then somebody, I think Karina says, is anybody using doTERRA Social for their automated posts? They say it's great. And then somebody else asked for more information. So Karina, if you want to come on and speak to that, that would be awesome.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I've been wanting to come on, but I'm like, okay, I'm in the bath. I'm doing my video in the bath. Okay. So my video's off.
Great.
Um,
Audio's great.
yeah, so doTERRA Social is a platform where you go in and you calendar everything. Um, so there's already ideas there. There's templates and ideas, and so you can just click yes, approve, and it literally looks like a calendar inside. I think it's doterrasocial.com, or you can get there from your back office. You use your
Awesome.
doTERRA login to actually get in there. And like I know they say automated post is bad, but like I'm not the person that's going to go into my doTERRA business Facebook page and post all the time. But I do want the content there because then people can see it and they can see the promos for the month and they can see the 10% off and the free oil and then there's a lot of shares. I get a lot of shares. There's not a whole lot of like communicating like comments or whatever, but it's there. And then it's also a place I can send people. Like I have a doTERRA Facebook. Well, it's not just doTERRA, it's my Westbrook Wellness. It's my wellness page for my foot zoning, aroma touch, all my things. And so I just use that for just posting all my content. So doTERRA Social's been awesome.
Fantastic. So it sounds like you're mainly using it for doTERRA's announcements about promos, oil of the month, or product of the month, and things like that. Is that right?
Yes, I mean that page I use for my other stuff too.
Okay.
Like if I have a I have a promotion for foot zoning for Mother's Day, and so I'll post that there and just stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's like my main thing. Like you can link your doTERRA social to like all the platforms, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and it can post on whatever platform that you want. It is not mobile friendly, so you would have to go into your computer and like, set up everything, but you can click approve on everything for the whole month if you want.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing that. Does
Yes.
anybody have any other questions for Karina about how to use the doTERRA Social and its benefits? I think that's so great. doTERRA has come such a long ways. Jeff is raising their hand, so let's see if his question is on this topic or something else. So, Jeff, if you want to rejoin as a panelist, then I can bring you on. All right. I thought he accepted. Maybe not. Okay, Jeff, if you're able to come on. Oh, there he comes. Okay. Jeff, it looks like you're muted.
Thank you. Just got up. Thank you, everyone, for your patience.
You're great. Jeff, I think you're frozen. I don't know if he is for anybody else, but I'm not hearing you anymore.
Twice now, but I've been trying to do it for 4 years. 100% believe in doTERRA and the product. I just haven't built to where I promised I would. So on the doTERRA social, all I've posted is pretty much the stock photos and such that come up there. And honestly, it's not that compelling to me. And but I had to try and be consistent. So that's where I was looking for his ideas to make it a more interesting thing rather than just sharing the stock photos or here's the promo of the month. So I hear that Karina was posting it in her group, and I created one for us, Bear Oils. Um, and I believe I've been intermixing it on my personal profile and the business doTERRA. So I'll check out that. Anyways, just trying to make it
Karina,
better. I appreciate those who have had success, and I thank you, Andy, for bringing up all these topics.
absolutely. Yeah. So Karina, if you're still on, it sounds like what Karina is doing, she probably has a big enough team that it's valuable just for notifying her customer base, her builder base of doTERRA's, promos and product of the month, things like that. I think what you're asking, Jeff, is how do I make engaging prospecting content, right? So if I'm trying to attract new customers or new builders, that's what I thought I heard you saying, Jeff. So Karina, do you want to speak to that?
Am I still on?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not sure, like, what's the question?
Well, Jeff cut out for the first 20 seconds, so I honestly didn't hear the first part. But I think what he's saying is that by default, a lot of the content is pretty boring. And so when he's used doTERRA Social, it hasn't gotten any response. But I think what he's talking about is posting it for attraction methods instead of just like notification methods. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think you can, because in doTERRA Social, you can go in there and you can create your own post. You can use a template and edit it and make it as engaging as you want. Put all your words, all your content. I'm not sure if it has AI. I should actually look at that, but that'd be cool. Everything's kind of going to AI. So, or you could probably copy and paste it from like ChatGPT into there with their wording. Your wording, but whatever. And then share it to a specific person. I think this sometimes is my problem. We get so scared to like talk to people, like, and share products and do classes because like for me, I'm like, oh, I don't think I know enough. But then I have a class and there's so many questions and they're like, what's on guard or what's, and like recently, okay, these are just examples. I've been really trying to um I've been trying to sign people up. Like I'm in Silver Club and I've been trying to do different things. And so we've been having classes every Tuesday night. And there are classes that are like last night we learned how to make tinctures and we have different people come in and teach. Well, it's not always doTERRA, but I always incorporate something doTERRA in. Like, so for 4 weeks, I've been working on specific people. So last night I did like a giveaway for a whole On Guard toothpaste samples. So yes, it's not a doTERRA class, but I'm sharing doTERRA at every single one of these classes. And like, so the giveaway, so there was a new lady, she won the giveaway. And then I simply told her, try it, and then you have to share it. Like you have to share these samples. So we have to sample people. We have to be putting oils on people. We have to be talking to people with confidence. Like you got to try this product and just and just quit being scared. Like that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't know if that's helpful, but I got to sign out. I got a couple
Okay.
signs out of this.
Thank
So
you, Karina. Appreciate your input. Okay, Jeff, I hope that's helpful. I haven't used social media, doTERRA Social personally, so I can't really speak to its content, but I can definitely speak to the principles, right? We all know that if you're posting mostly stock images and you're posting too many product promos, you're just not going to get any traction. I think they say that like 80% or 60% of your content should just be about you and your life, and then maybe 10, 20% on a product that you're promoting. So yeah. and I am not the social media expert. So I am going to stop talking because I've reached the limit of my expertise. So I hope that's helpful, Jeff. Okay, we've got Candace has raised her hand. So I'd love to hear from you, Candace.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday. Today is to be well. Today is the day to be well.
Amen.
Amen. So to speak to Jeff's question about social media, I found it successful to use the Empower app. So if you have the goal of social media, they have a really great template where the on verbiage, captions, and everything is there for you. You just have to download it to your phone and upload it. And I have gotten customers from them, especially when it's around topics like stress and promoting adaptive. But also, what you said, you were like spot on. A lot of people do just want to see like who you are, but then you can kind of add in things in a fun way that will engage people. So if you go to the Empower app, if you have the oil social calendar, so everything is there, and they even have coaching to show you what to do before you start posting. And then also, if you want to focus on like promoting the foundational wellness on social media, they have that too. But some people are not into foundational wellness and they don't really want to promote that. So they now created one for essential oils education. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And if you're not really good with social media or you don't want to deal with ChatGPT or you can't think about what to post, then that's where you can find, like, from what I know, the most effective and simplistic way to engage as you learn. Yeah. That's all I wanted
Awesome.
to say.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've heard really great things from people who have used Empowered Social. And so I've posted a link there. It's empwrsocial.com. You don't spell out the whole word. So empwrsocial.com. And that was created by the Kirschbaums. I think they collaborated with Chedevies and others. So I've heard
Mhm.
things about the training that's there, the CRM. You know, you can manage your customers there, and it's different from Empower Me. So doTERRA has an app called Empower Me. This is not the same thing. doTERRA also has a system called Empowered Success. Different thing. Everything's empowered these days, right? But it's Empower Social is what Candace is talking about.
Yeah. So for Jeff and anybody else that really wants to engage on social media, it is very possible. You can do it. You just have to remain coachable, as we all, always have things that we want to improve on, and everything is there. doTERRA provides so many resources. So if you personally ever need help about the social app, you can feel welcome to like message me or anything like that, and I'll try my best to support.
Oh, thank you so much. And thanks for
You're
coming on
welcome.
and sharing your experience. Everyone I've talked to that's used, who has used Empowered Social has loved that one as well. So fantastic resource. Thank you so much, Candace. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes. So we had another question come through from Ashley. How do you keep an abundance mindset when so many are in your industry and building doTERRA, and when new MLMs and companies are coming into the play? There are, I mean, with just, because we already talked about Modere, Modere's biggest distributor, Justin Prince, started his own MLM called Make Wellness. And, from all appearances, it's doing really, really well. So how do we stay in that abundance mindset? And I want to make this a conversation. So I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. What do you do when, you're seeing competition thriving, you're seeing growth in other places, maybe you're seeing other teams grow within doTERRA. And so you're struggling to keep an abundance mindset. What have you found works for you? What has moved the needle? And how do you manage, because every day it's, Tiffany talks about pulling weeds. That's the same way with mindset. And so the weeds always come back. How do you pull the weeds of scarcity that will always keep coming back and stay in abundance mindset? So go ahead and put your thoughts in the chat. I'll just share a couple of my thoughts because we were short on time. We could spend probably 3 weeks in a row on this topic. I think ultimately it comes back to your core beliefs around the nature of the universe. Do you believe that that there are scarce resources, or that there's more than enough? Have we been placed in a universe that that is kind, as Einstein said? He said the most important decision you'll ever make is whether the universe is kind or not. And that's what we're talking about here. Do you believe that we've been placed on a sphere that can provide for us or not, that can create abundance for everyone or not? And I'm not talking about just raping and pillaging the earth and taking. What I'm talking about is, does the earth have what it needs to produce for us? Does the universe have your back? And I can't help but believe that there's enough and to spare. That we are perfectly provided for in every way, physically, emotionally. That's just the kind of creator that I believe in, creator of abundance. And so that's the evidence that I look for. I've been studying regenerative farming, and I don't know, some of you may have heard of the book Dirt to Soil. And if you were to pick up a handful of dirt, there would be more microorganisms in that handful of dirt than there are people on Earth. And if we can create a healthy, if we can take care of soil, that soil will grow food for you for life. And so that's the kind of world that we live in. We think that the world's getting too crowded. We think, there's overpopulation. But the fact is, we have everything we need. And I just want to share one story as we wrap, because we literally are out of time, and I could literally go all day on this. I'm not exaggerating. So Peter is one of my favorite characters. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, he's an inspiring character. And early in his faith journey, he didn't believe. And to help with his belief, Jesus told him to cast on one side, and he brought in so many fish that almost sunk his boat. Okay, so that was the beginning of his faith journey. At the end of Christ's life, so he's died, he's come back, and he's on, he appears on the Sea of Galilee, where Peter has gone back to fishing, and again, in doubt, Jesus says to Peter, cast on the other side. And again, Peter's like, we've been fishing all night, it's not going to work. And he brings in again so many that it could sink the ship. And then he comes back to the shore, and he's laying out the fish, and he's counted them, right? Like, he's a good fisherman, because good fishermen count. They keep a score. And in this conversation, I'm taking some liberties with what that conversation was like. But Jesus asks Peter, "Do you love me?" And it's perfect that we're talking about this on Holy Week. But he says, "Do you love me?" And he asks it 3 times. Jesus was really good. He was the best teacher that's ever lived. And he asks, do you love me? And Peter's like, dang, I've said yes like 3 times. What's going on here? And then that's the setup for what Jesus says next. Because he's like, do you love me more than these? Pointing at the fish, like, does my life and my work matter more to you than just getting stuff? And then this is what I imagine Jesus would have said, if you love me, if you truly love me, then why are we back here on the same shore having the same conversation? If I need fish, I can get fish, right? 2 times, Jesus has done the same miracle for Peter. And so he's saying, if I need fish, I can get fish. What I need are disciples, and I need them forever. So I love that story. If for nothing else, of course, it's an invitation for all of us to be disciples, but it teaches that God is a God of abundance. Like if he needs fish, he can get fish. If he needs a crop, he can grow it out of whatever, like in the Ark in the Covenant, there was the almond branch that he made sprout. Like it's been chopped off and it's been in a box for who knows how long, and he makes it grow almonds. Like that's the kind of God that I believe in. And so if you choose that belief, then you'll find evidence everywhere. So that's my 5-minute sermon on abundance. I wish I had more time, but maybe we'll pick that up next week. Thank you so much. Maybe in the recording, I'll post a link to a talk about that experience Peter had. That's I think one of the greatest talks of all time. Jeffrey Holland, one of my greatest teachers and mentors. So thank you all so much for being on with us. Bless each and every one of you and all that you're doing. So grateful for this privilege that we have of sharing these precious gifts of the earth. And we'll catch you next week.